I think the England-Wales game was disappointing. Farrell, Johnny, was shocking from the kicks,
but
conversions, penalties, everything.
But you can see why he's dropped this weekend, you know.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good choice. The other thing is the Welsh, they were trifling unlucky on a number of occasions not to get him for tries, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the lost possession, knock-ons, you know, and it was a game like that they could have maybe squeaked something out of it, like, you know.
But like 8-3 at half time, Johnny.
I know, yeah.
You know, it was dire all.
It was.
You know,
there was no fluency. There was.
And like Anthony Watson, he's back and he scored a try for England in the first half. You know, that's his first start in a couple of years for England.
So looking at England and Wales, Pat, we know where Wales are. We saw them out in Gatland against Ireland. Where England at this stage, I wonder?
Well, you see, that's the thing. I don't know. It's very hard to know. They're trying to. They have a couple of good. They have some good players. Like, there's no doubt about that. And they have power. But I don't know. The new coach is trying to develop his own way of playing,
which is absolutely fine. That's what you do. Like.
But they're kind of caught between the two ways: the old way and the more modern way of playing rugby. The other teams play, you know.
Of course, he would be hoping to try and get something straightened up during the Six Nations.
In preparation for the World Cup. Well, that's it, Gerard. But like at the same time, they're liable to do. They could turn it on as well. You know, when they do, they are powerful in going forward.
Oh, without doubt,
Johnny.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
But like, and they have, you know. But like, is Smith was the first choice under Jones, and they were putting Farrell in the centre.
Yeah,
and then he put Farrell back out and left Smith off.
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend, like, you know, that you've supposedly a player of that quality, an international, you know, to move him like that, and next thing all of a sudden he's gone, and now you see Farrell dropped for the weekend. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, George Ford, like, will he come into directing as well for the World Cup?
Most certainly, I think.
Yeah. We would expect he would, Pat.
Yeah. You know. But Ginger, the following day, like, the game between France and Scotland was a great game. Like, they were 19-0 up after 20 minutes, and I thought they were going to run away with it. No, there was two players put off.
Was it for the high challenge?
Gilchrist, the Scottish. But the referee was the coolest man in the field, and he no fuss. Like, when the physio, that's the independent physio now, not the team.
Yes, I know,
he came on to assist the guy, and he went to the referee and he pointed to the head. Next thing, the ref had to go to TMO and the whole thing. And the Scottish lad had to go.
He had to go, yeah.
He was a small bit unclear about the French guy, but with the communication between the officials.
Well, the bit I saw, there was no question about it.
Yeah, it was decided it was red card merited there as well, so he went.
He came straight over the top into your man.
So it was chaotic in that France were up and 19-0, and then each team was down to 14 and you had, like, one of the tries, Johnny, an intercept pass from a long pass from Finn Russell. You know, Finn Russell, like, the man that makes Scotland tick. But he also can do stupid things. He telegraphed the pass from a long way out. Your man intercepted.
You could see it coming. You could see it coming for a week, Pat. You know, but that's Russell. He lives on the edge, we'll say, you know. And when it works, it's brilliant.
Then he turns around and scores a try himself.
But when it backfires, it blows up, you know.
Hugh Jones got 2 tries for Scotland. They were desperately unlucky, I thought.
I thought so.
With a few minutes to go, they were getting a bonus point for being within the 7 points, and then France finished up with a try and they won by 10. So they got the bonus point. So I kind of felt a small bit sorry for them, but in a way happy, because I knew they couldn't win the Grand Slam then.
But they put up a good show.
Yeah, they did. And sure, I began to wonder, is pressure telling on France? The fact that they're favourites for the World Cup because it's on their home country, and when the pressure comes on, you'd wonder, Johnny, wouldn't you?
I don't know, Pat, is the pressure. I mean, I go back to last year, and I said it again here on one of the programmes, that I don't know what it is, what way they're training or what they're doing. They're running out of steam.
Yeah.
Even though they changed their front rows, or as many players do
it en masse.
Yeah. But like that day again in Ireland, like there was, and I had it spotted, but they started mentioning on the TV, the commentators, that there was a lot of players, their hands on their knees and they puffing, and like every one of the Irish guys were erect, standing straight as you know, as a needle. So I just don't know. Is it, you know, is it fatigue?
See at that level, Johnny, that kind of fatigue.
It is, yeah.
there's no problem with Ireland here. They can stay going right up to 80 plus.
It's the one thing I like about them this season above all. Yeah, you know, they're unbelievably fit. Now look, I could be proven wrong yet with France, but it just seems that they seem to run out of steam.
Yeah.
You know, they play this lovely, as they call it themselves, this lovely champagne football or rugby for a while, and next thing then it goes flat.
It does, and they're really fly it when they're doing that.
Yeah. And we come on into this weekend, and we're playing Scotland hopefully on Sunday for the Triple Crown. And in fairness to Farrell, he brought Ringrose straight in and Furlong. No great surprise there. We bailed them out injured, but he's left off, or they're starting on the bench. Hinshaw and Gibson Park, so that's a vote of confidence to Conor Murray, isn't it, Johnny? Well deserved.
Oh yeah. And
he also, Ger has a fair old panel subs now. That Keane Healy's back in the bench as well. So great maybe to be great to bring on them. Hinshaw wouldn't be able for full 80 anyway. He's so much rugby missed. But I'm delighted to see Ringrose back.
It's an exciting day.
Yeah. And as Johnny's pointed out, Farrell, the big news was dropped by England.
Yeah.
You know, and
dropped or not even on the bench.
He's a sub, but he's but I mean, his kicking was atrocious.
Terrible.
Absolutely atrocious in Wales.
Yeah. So, like, Johnny, a lot of people are nervous about the Scottish match on Sunday.
Well, I am anyway.
Well, I am rightly so, Pat. We have to be. You know, and as you say, earlier in the year before the Six Nations started, we thought the Scotland game was going to be one of the crunch games.
Yeah, we highlighted that from way back here. Yeah, and like
there'd be fierce passion in the singing before the match.
Oh, you've got to believe it, like, and the bagpipes and the kilts will be flying and whatever have you. But coming down to the game itself, they're proud Scottishmen, those guys, like, and they won't want to be beaten.
No. And especially when they're playing, they're having a good season, right?
They are, they're not 100 miles away either, you know.
And they'll probably target Sexton.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, because he's prone now to getting soft tissue injuries and head injuries, and he gets a bang early in the game.
Yeah.
There's a strong possibility he won't see out the game, like, But
I something tells me, Pat, that the boys will be told this.
Yeah.
To kind of mind him a little bit.
Yeah. You would imagine, Johnny, there'll be
for a period of this game anyway. Yeah. Because we need, at vital stages in the game, you need him, like,
Yeah. And I suppose moving on to under 20, Italy, Ireland are playing Scotland tonight, and as we record this,
but 20s are unbeaten as well.
Yeah, they are, and they beat Italy 44-27. Italy's managed to score 4 tries and they got a bonus point for it. But Prendergast gave another exhibition of kicking.
Fantastic.
But Pat, we spoke about that Italian side, like, they're a very, very good side and very, very unlucky not to win one of 2 of their previous games.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And Johnny, what worried me was, Italy have a very good scrum. We were weak enough at the scrum and maul.
Yeah, we were caught several times.
Yeah, we were.
And in fairness to that, I must compliment it was a girl that refereed I must compliment her.
Very well.
And she was very good at explaining what they were doing wrong. You could hear it crystal clear.
Yeah.
I thought she had an excellent game.
Yeah, I thought she was brilliant.
But that Italian side are a very, very good side. But you can see, Pat, that they have put an awful lot of work into rugby at underage level in Italy.
Yeah. Prendergast got the man of the match. He's 3rd in a row. Unbelievable. Yeah, and what I liked about him was he was interviewed after the match, and he said, your man asked him, did you model himself on Sexton? He said, no. He's his own. I like that,
Yeah, of course.
Like he said, he acknowledged Sexton was a great player, but I'm my own. Yeah. He's only 2 kicks missed out of 22 so far.
He's very level-headed.
The last conversion he got, Johnny, out in the wing. To see the distance of it, to some kick. And it could come down to that, between the difference between winning and losing the under 20s. But they're going well anyway, and England beat Wales 37-21, and France hammered Scotland. Scotland are poor enough at under 20. 54-12 that finished. And that weekend at the internationals, Ulster went over to South Africa and they beat the Sharks 31-24, which is a good win for them. And last weekend then there was back to the URC, Munster beat Scarlets 49-42. I nearly fell asleep half time. Was it 35-7 at half time to Munster?
It was like a charity rugby game. I swear to God. Do you know?
But again,
Don't put a hand on me. Let me in for a try. Or who's going to score next?
But again, where were the Scarlets' minds? Or what were their mindsets?
Now, in fairness, Munster pummeled them in that first half. But my God Almighty, now there was changes made at half time and whatever have you by Munster. But is, you just said it, Ger. Where was that Scarlet side that played in the second half? Where were they in the first half?
And they were Munster shouldn't have been hanging on.
No, at all. We should have been
chaotic in the second half.
We should have been out of sight.
Yeah.
But look at, if you were a guy that was taking your kids to a Munster rugby game for the first time or whatever, that watched rugby and saw all the scores, should they be thrilled to bits with the score, and it's such an exciting game,
Yeah, and like it was a tough enough week for them. They lost Tom Tierney there. He passed away suddenly. He was involved in Munster.
Munster have had a few big personalities within the setup that they lost.
Humanity O'Brien's, but would say that man here. I mean, he was a young man,
He was only in his 40s.
Highly thought of.
I don't know. Was the man? Was he ill for a period of time, or was it sudden? Or I don't know.
Sudden. Anyway, how quickly it happened.
And Leinster went over to Edinburgh and beat them 47-27. That's 19 wins from 19 in all competitions this year. Incredible, considering all they're missing. 21-15 half time. And Cardiff, Ulster went over to Cardiff and beat Cardiff 42-20. And Connacht went over to Dragons and they won as well, 22-20.
I was delighted for Connacht, they needed to win. That's three in the spin now from,
So it would be our first love. Connacht would be our second.
Well, you'd be kind of looking at them, people look at them as the poor relations of the provinces, and like to see him win a game, and as I say, that's their third win on the spin, so it's good, and they're in with a shout, into the playoffs, we'll say, to get into the European.
Exactly.
Competition next year.
Yeah, so hopefully, the same pairings as the senior, obviously the weekend with Ireland playing Scotland, England and France. Wales will be nervous playing Italy, won't they, Johnny?
They will, and I said there could be a shock in the France Scotland game, and it very nearly worked out that way. But I don't know. Italy will absolutely relish the chance of taking them on. They really will. And no disrespect to Wales, but the way Italy are playing, they will turn somebody over.
Yeah, they will.
Okay,
definitely.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Just was briefly looking at the local rugby. I think the locals did lose out there at the weekend as well.
Scariff were playing.
Yeah, there was a Waterford that were playing. Am I right in saying that? How was it? No, the Beat Cove did it.
Watford.
I think it was anyway.
Unfortunately, they lost. And that look, but
I didn't get a report now from Ger Hoey, but usually
and just supposed to highlight Ethan Coughlin and Butler playing for Munster again. That's right. All right, okay, lads. We move on to. We just briefly mentioned the boxing part. Katie Taylor's fight, on or off?
Well, it's officially off now, apparently due to an injury to Serrano. What the injury is, no one seems to know. But it was down for the Tree Arena on the 20th of May, and that's definitely off. But Katie has basically told Hearn that he has to make a fight happen with undisputed light welterweight champion Chantel Cameron. She said to him, the homecoming has waited long enough. Tree Arena is available, so let's give Ireland a night to remember on the May 20th. Happy to move up a weight.
Bit unusual.
Get it on, she told him.
Yeah.
So
it's unlike Katie. I suppose. Look, she wants to give the Irish crowd, the night.
I have a theory on it. I reckon, first of all, Hearn didn't want in Croke Park because he thought she wouldn't sell 80,000, that he'd lose money. And secondly, I don't think Serrano's injured at all. And it may happen in September. There's talks of happening in September now as well.
Yeah. You see, there is a date open in September, so I'm still convinced. I'm like you, Pat. I don't believe there's an injury here at all.
I don't either.
This is just work behind the scene.
Would Croke Park still be the venue, do you reckon?
In September, I think it would, because there's a date there,
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And Michael Conlon is hoping to fight for an IBF featherweight title in Belfast this year against Alberto Lopez.
Okay.
So that may be happening as well.
Yeah.
I'd say they're very nervous about holding boxing events in Ireland.
Yeah.
With the events at the last while, the last few years there hasn't been any major boxing event in Ireland, you know. That could be a factor as well, couldn't it, Johnny?
Quite possible. You know, you just know they're thinking. You just don't know what they're thinking.
The boxing attracts a lot of undesirables. We'll put it that way.
There's a bit of a taint of it. Some of the characters involved in sport.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay. So look, as we don't have Willie with us, but we'll have to talk about football, association football, otherwise known as soccer. Interesting few weeks, really, lads, in the Premier League and also on the European circuit.
Yeah.
So.
I think, Ger, we start first. We forgot the last day, and I've only thought about it afterwards, Johnny. We forgot to mention about John Watson passed away there.
Yeah,
and Johnny was a great commentator. Anyone that watched Match of the Day, he was an institution, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
You know, and Ger, 46 years.
He'd make a dull game. Yeah. He'd make a dull game interesting.
Ger, he was like, remember, Bertie Ahern was famous for the anorak. He was famous for the sheepskin coat, wasn't he? But he was an OBE, Ger, but
an unbelievable commentator.
He did over 2,000 matches, like 29 FA Cup finals, 10 World Cups, 10 Euros, 200 European club games for the BBC. And Ger, you know the way every commentator at that level, they always have we'll say, classics.
Yes,
left them.
That's right.
I think he said he was commentating, Johnny, in the era where people were changing over to colour televisions.
Yes.
So he was doing a match where Spurs were playing, and he said, for those of you watching in black and white, Spurs are in the all yellow strip.
Classic.
And the other one that stood out for me was I saw a list of them on the paper. Northern Ireland are 10 minutes from their finest victory. A pause, and he said there's 15 minutes left. And his motto, Ger, was talk little but say a lot. Great character. And didn't Dickie Davis die as well? Another commentator.
I didn't know that.
I think so.
They were all great commentators, Ger.
Is Barry Davis himself and Marty, were they both at the BBC?
I think they were, yeah.
I saw a documentary on the BBC about Marty, and it was kind of a bit like Micheál O'Hare anytime. Would anyone take him on? But Watson anyway, and Barry. It was Barry Davis. Davis, yeah. But I suppose one of the Marty's saddest nights was the day in Hillsborough, because he was commentating. And he turned out not alone. He was there for the match, but he actually was kind of on the news, giving
an update on what was happening.
I think that shook him big time. In fairness, it did. Anyway, Pat, thanks for thinking about that. Absolutely.
I mean to say the last show we forgot it, but sure, Ger, since the last show, like United won the League Cup.
They did.
The first trophy in 6 years.
Newcastle.
2-0. And one of the goals was an OG. Casemiro scored the other one. And Celtic won the Scottish League Cup. They beat Rangers 2-1. They're going well. That manager Celtic have, Johnny, he's in demand, isn't he?
He's, but I only saw the highlights for now, but I was watching the United Newcastle game, but one of the lads was telling me that there was, I don't know, they say was it 11 or 12 yellow cards in the game for finish. Now in the first half there was it 2 or 3. So as the game went on and Celtic was still winning, it kind of boiled over a wee bit in the tackle count anyway, They have a good manager, in fairness,
Yeah. And no one knew anything about him when he came first.
No.
He seems to...
not being one bit disrespectful, but it's a very, very weak league.
It is.
There's only 3 or 4 teams, really.
Yeah.
They're competitive enough with one another in that league.
Yeah.
And
sure, I suppose, coming to the league then, before we talk the Europeans, the big talk from last week was Liverpool's 7-0 win over United. And I didn't see it coming anywhere for sure.
Well, I was watching the game and I couldn't see it coming, in fairness, until it happened.
I watched the Cup game, Pat, on the Wednesday night, the FA Cup game. And United, even though they won the 3-1, they looked lethargic.
But they were 1-0 down with 13 minutes to go. West Ham were 1-0 up.
And I said, here we go, we're out of the Cup. And it's a knee-jerk reaction to winning the Cup the previous Sunday. But they looked very, very tired that night. Now, I know he made a few changes, but he didn't make enough. And to be fair, last Sunday they were absolutely blown out of the park by Liverpool. It was the best I've seen Liverpool play in probably 2 years. Do you know? They had most of their big guns back, and they chased, they hunted, they were like wolves.
But Johnny, it was the biggest defeat United suffered since 1931. Like, that's unbelievable. Yeah. It happened to Liverpool, their most bitter rivals.
But I know, but it's ironic when you look at it. The teams that beat them before on a scoreline like that weren't Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, any of those. You know, they were like Wolves, Bulls, and stuff like that. You know, but the other side of it is like, I watched them then last night, and they seem to be a completely different team altogether. Just like if you just switch them back on again. Do you know? Now I do know they've played an awful lot of games in the last 31 days. They've played. I counted them, but I'm not going to say because if I'm wrong. But they played an awful lot of games between the FA Cup, the League Cup, Europe, and the Premiership. You know,
that's right.
And we don't have a big enough squad. He's not able to rotate the team the way you'd like to be able to rotate the team, you know, and still win. If you understand me. So,
well, Liverpool were always going to lift their game against United anyway.
But look, it is one of the biggest. You know, they'll tell you that Chelsea and Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea and all those. You know, Everton, Liverpool, United, Liverpool, probably United City. I'd nearly go as far as to say it's a bigger derby game than United and City, United and Liverpool. You know, because of the rivalry and because of what both clubs have won over the years. You know. So, but the other thing about it is, I had met two of my mates just before the game. I went uptown to meet a few of my lads to watch it. My mates to watch it, United fans, and I met a Liverpool fella, Willie's son actually, Brian McInerney. And I said to Brian, I says, I have a bad feeling about this game. I watched them in a week to pour. I think Liverpool will beat us, turn us over and beat us 3-0 today. And he couldn't believe it. He said, what? I said, yeah. I said, you're going to turn us over and beat us 3-0 today. Had the better chances in the first half, went in 1-0 down. I said, here we go, we'll probably be better 1-0. I could not foresee what came in the second half. My God.
It was almost as if Liverpool or United gave up.
It's hard to say what it was, Pat. Lost their shape. Like, Luke Shaw had been the best left full back in England all season. And he'd a hand in 3 of their goals in the second half.
Johnny, it's true.
You know.
And Johnny, Salah's 2 goals saw him become Liverpool's greatest Premier League scorer. He overtook Robbie Fowler. 128 goals, Robbie. You know, he passed him. So,
but was it his first one? Was it the first one he got? The volley?
Yeah.
You know, it was a serious goal. Like, you know.
But Liverpool, United have hitting 21 goals in the last 5 league games to Liverpool. That's a lot of goals.
It is indeed, You
know.
But like when you look at that result, and then you see there wasn't as much fervour because the City we played, and this is what I'm saying. This is why I think United Liverpool are a bigger derby than United and City. City beat them 6-3. It was like a game of tennis.
But I suppose, like, in fairness, Liverpool and City and United are 2 of the biggest support base in Ireland.
Huge in Ireland. Huge,
I would say about even worldwide.
Worldwide. You know, that's a factor as well. And regardless of where they are in the league or how they're doing, it's a game in its own. It stands out in its own. You know, Johnny, you're right.
Its own identity.
And won a crucial win for Arsenal last weekend. They were 2-0 down against Bournemouth, and to come back and win it. And I know they won it in injury time and the whole lot, but it could be a crucial win yet.
It is crucial. There's no doubt about it. For a lot of respects, because if they lost it, especially,
I think the manager done an Alex Ferguson on it, goal in the last minute. But in fairness, they still, you know, I like watching them. They play good football. Have they the panel to win the league? It's hard to know.
It's a big question, Johnny.
Their noses are still out there. They're still in Europe. Now, it was squeaky bum time last night from them, and they got back into the game through an OG. You know.
A Sporting.
So, will it take its toll on them? Time will tell. You know.
And your Leeds were beaten by Everton. They only collected 6 points all season away from home. They're very poor form away from home. They'll do well to stay up with the way they're shaping, Johnny.
That was the battle of the bottom.
And when you look at it, Pat, I'm serious about it, when you look at it, if that Leeds side go down, you could very see the demise of that Leeds club fairly quickly down along that lower division. Because that division is unbelievably competitive, Pat. Unbelievably competitive.
And the good news from an Irish perspective, Evan Ferguson scored the winner for Brighton there in their cup match against Stoke.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
He is a big lad, and he's mobile as well, like, you know.
Is he the new Robbie Keane for us?
It's hard to say.
Too early to say.
But look, Pat, put him in there. Look, give him game time. Let's see what he's made of.
You exactly,
know? The one thing about it is, and I mean this in a good way, like, he has better players around him at Brighton than he will have a lot of the players around him with the Republic of Ireland, if you understand me.
That's
you know,
that's
they're
true,
playing in the Premiership, a lot of those players. You know, with him.
Yeah.
So I look, put him in, see what he's made of.
Yeah.
We'll soon find out.
Yeah, that's true. That's
you know.
And Jerry, in Europe, Chelsea got through.
Yeah, they got a win.
Over Dortmund.
Got a win, yeah.
And Sterling scored his 27th goal in Europe.
Yeah.
There's only one other Englishman ahead of him, and that's Wayne Rooney. Rooney had 30. So, you know, it was a vital win for. It could have revitalised their season because they were going so bad. That, along with the league win,
it was a good few days. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
A very good game.
I know. You know, Pats have been saying they were just slightly off. There was games they could have won that they didn't win.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at these 1-0s, 2-1s, you know, and you read the report in, and you're saying, how did McGon did not win that game?
Yeah. And
you know,
as Johnny mentioned there a few minutes ago, United bounced back last night 4-1 over, and Rashford Ger scored his 26th goal of the year. Now, he's the third highest scorer in the top 5 leagues so far this season. The only two ahead of him, Mbappe has 30 and Haaland has 33. So like that's incredible considering where Rashford has come from last season. It was 2 goals he got. Something very small anyway. Yeah. But unbelievable.
But you can see it. He's enjoying enjoying. No, things didn't go well from last Sunday. Fair enough. But even last night, you know, and I was delighted they took him off to give him a rest because we need him. We need him to be here for Southampton.
He in the interview after the Liverpool game, Johnny, he was taking responsibility for missing a chance in the first half. He said that could have made a difference.
And he's that's the time. He's totally changed. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I often wonder, would he make a good captain?
Yeah,
you know,
and your own team, I thought they'd beat AC Milan at home.
So too.
I mean, AC Milan are not a good side. The average compared to other AC Milan teams.
No, they're not anywhere near.
I think the best phrase I heard at the weekend: Spurs are very Spursy, up and down. You know, and we've had a bad fortnight. Bad fortnight. And
the rumour has started already that Conte is leaving the season, and maybe Harry Kane.
Yeah. Well, and even they're saying that Son isn't even playing as good as he should be. It's just a pity. We're just because we're just about 4th in the table.
Like when you see him,
you're only 3 points ahead of Liverpool.
But like you go out and you play the likes of the Chelseas this world and you win.
Yeah,
and you come up then you play and just picking somebody like that. You draw your beating or whatever.
Liverpool have a game in hand as well in that like. You know, but like there was today. I just saw the paper today. United are linked with Kane, Bellingham, and I don't know who the third guy that was mentioned to sign this summer. And a lot will depend on what to take over.
After the French international, that midfielder from Bayern Munich, I won't even try and pronounce his name. You know, but he's only a young fella, 20 years of age, 21 years of age.
Harry Kane has a decision to make in the summer as to what he's going to do, because if he stays loyal to Spurs, he's unlikely to win anything. In fairness,
winning trophies won't happen unless there's a major shift in purchasing power. To be
fair to him, and I don't like phrasing this, but he owes Spurs nothing. At this stage in his career, you know, I mean, he could have gone after the World Cup, or he could have gone there in January and demanded to go. You know. They could have got a big ball of money for him. He got money in.
I reckon they won't get 100 million for him though if he does go.
Oh no, not his age. His age is against him.
Yeah,
you know.
And as Johnny pointed, Arsenal were lucky enough to draw 2-2 with Sporting Lisbon last night. West Ham won.
Yeah, no, he did make an awful lot of changes.
Yeah, well he did. Yeah.
You know, last night to the Arsenal side. You know, so.
West Ham were playing AEK. I don't know what the.
It's lovely to see. It's lovely to see so many English guys still in that.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Arsenal ourselves, you know, United,
Chelsea. Yeah.
As long as United don't pull one of the English sides next to the next round.
Oh, Jesus. You know? Yeah, that's true, Johnny. You know, there's a lot to play for anyway as we come in towards the second half, the last half of the season anyway, in both the league and Europe. You know, so
locally, Newmarket Celtic. Got on great. Owen Hayes scored a screamer at the weekend.
Yeah. They won 2-0 at home, Ger. They were allowed to play the match at Newmarket.
Yeah.
Now, the Lahan now played the semi-final there. It has to be on the fair green.
Yeah. They're playing Benlenty, right?
Yeah, Benlenty Rovers. They're fairly good.
Yeah, they are good, my son was at it. He said they should have scored a few times before they got the goals that they got, you know. They had chances, you know, and snatched them. But you know, it was a tough test for them, like, you know, they're happy to get out there 2-0 at home. But
and Stephen Kelly has appeared back in the scene.
Yeah, Stephen had been out with an ankle problem. You know, and he's a very, very good footballer.
Himself in Hayes or short.
You know, he's a very, very good footballer.
And Newmarket are playing Avenue in the Cup this weekend at the Fairgreen, and they're in the last 8 at the Munster Junior Cup, and they're playing Ferrybank FC in Waterford. They have to travel down to Waterford, so they're involved in 3 competitions. The only thing is they're behind in the league because of their cup, and they have a couple of games to catch up on, but they have a large enough squad, so they should be able to mix and match. But the very good manager, Purcell, he went straight into managing after retirement.
So he played League of Ireland, and he played with them.
Yeah, he did.
For a couple of seasons, you know.
Yeah, so they're great to draw. They're playing that semi-final against Belllanty Rovers in April. Yeah. So if they get to the final, it'll be on in Turner's Cross or somewhere like that. They've taken out Dave Eve in the last 2 years. They put around the country. I think they're scheduled for Turner's Cross this year.
Okay.
If they get to it, it'll be great. Like, it's a good promotion for Clare soccer.
It's massive, absolutely.
You know. Unfortunately, Mount Shannon Celtic are still losing matches.
12 games played, no points.
You know, they'll definitely be relegated, I'd say. You know, and it's only a matter who's going to join them below, you know.
Tulla are way behind Kilrush at the moment.
You know, so
could be a 2 East player.
It could, and maybe Kilkishen replacing one of them.
Yeah, and it's a pity because, you know, the Tulla side are, we've said this several times, they're very young. Yeah, you know.
So because Kilkishen are second in the first division, Shannon Town, as you say.
Yeah, they can't be promoted. Yeah. You know, so there's good times ahead anyway. Hopefully for Newmarket, anyway, hopefully can go all the way. Tough ask though.
It is a tough ask, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
so in the league itself, Avenue are ahead, but you say
they have games, but Newmarket have games in hand, of course, you have to win the games in hand.
You have,
How come Shannon Town have only 9 games played, lads?
I don't know that.
Well, maybe because they were down to play maybe the likes of Avenue, maybe Avenue United. They were away in Munster Junior Cup in FAI, you know. Yeah. That could be one reason, John.
It could be one reason, you know. But I just say, Pat, the market are third, but they have 2 or 3 games in hand. All right, okay.
I suppose in the League of Ireland, Rovers have got off to a bad start the first couple of games. They've no game won.
They're at the wrong end of the table, Pat.
They're second from the bottom.
In the great. Come on, Derry.
Derry City have a 100% record.
My old crowd.
No, Derry have a tough one tonight. They're playing Dundalk.
Yeah.
So that'll test them. They're at home, I think, are they?
Yeah.
But Johnny Rory Higgins is a right good coach.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he left the Irish set up.
Yeah, he's a shrewd man.
Kenny had him in it, you know. Yeah, he is. They have a lot of money invested in him. Yeah. But they're like, Derry got off to a good start the first day out. They beat Cork 2-0. Yeah. Like Rovers Gerald threw 1-1 with Drogheda. Drogheda are a bogey team for Rovers. Right. But Drogheda equalised in the last minute. Derry Pets beat Shells 1-0 the first day. Like, I think we said it next night, just quick reference to the first division. Kerry FC, they're not going to win any match.
No, but
I don't think they will.
They weren't far off it last weekend, though.
No, they weren't. But they started off against Bray and they were beaten 3-1. That's right. Yeah. And Waterford are claiming that there was a spy. The club didn't identify themselves. They didn't identify the club, but they made out that they cleared the person. He was spying on their training session. They haven't reported to FAI. And they're a team from the first division that they'll be playing, like. Okay. So it has to be one of their opposition. They didn't identify who it was.
Does that go on, lads?
Well, the last thing I heard of anyone spying was a fella from Donegal was above in a tree watching the Kerry footballers.
True or false, we don't know, but I can remember it, Pat. You know,
so I don't know. You know, but Johnny, like, would you be optimistic about Derry going all the way this year?
Look, I thought they might have won it last year, but you can't when you have a squad like what Shamrock Rovers said last season, you know, a player injured out, this fella come in and takes his place, doesn't make any difference to the side.
But in the second match, they beat Rovers 2-1.
I know they did, but what I would say, and we spoke about it off air, Pat, is Rovers are going, you know, if they want to keep players on the field, they're going to have to tidy up their discipline act. They picked up a fair few cards in the first couple of games.
In the first 2 games, they had 3 red cards.
You know.
And 2 games, 2 goals, 3 red cards. They had more red cards than points.
That's not the behaviour of champions. What's the story?
We don't know. And generally, like, Rovers aren't like that, you know. But I mean, okay, 2 yellows and a red maybe, but we'll say a straight red.
But the game's coming thick and fast, Ger. And at the moment, anyway, going into tonight's games, Derry had 10 points, Bows had 9, Dundalk have 7, Sligo 7. And the bottom 2, Rovers have 3 and UCD have 1.
And lads, are we going to say Rovers are going to be there in a week's time or 2 weeks' time? Or are they going to start pulling up?
Well, they're playing. Rovers are playing Shells tonight. Derry are playing Dundalk. Pets are playing Bows. UCD are Drogheda. And Sligo are playing Cork.
You see, it's a competitive enough league, Ger, when you look at the money that was put, you know, the businesses that took over Dundalk and took over Derry, you know, which is great because it'll make a right good league of it. Yeah. Like, there seems to be a good sound coming out of Cork at the minute now. Yeah. Will that be maintained? Remains to be seen. Bows are Bows, like, you know, and so are Pats, like, you know, they can have a bumpy ride over the Western Youth. Sligo, they're a good team to take on any of the big ones at any given time. Whether they can sustain it or not, I don't rightly know. But Rovers seem to have that squad. We saw that last year. So, look, it's a good thing that Derry are up there at the minute and that Rovers are down, because everyone is saying, look, they're not playing that well.
The pressure of trying to do 4 in a row.
That's right.
That's another side. That's another thing. Like, you know, yeah.
Or else they have too many players and it's very hard to manage them all. Yeah.
But they seem to get through that for the last couple of seasons all the same, Pat. Money seems to be no object for Rovers either at the minute because of their exploits in Europe for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
You know, and then with the sale of players across the water as well. You know, and knock-ons.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, lads, we'll park the soccer there for the moment, and so we'll move on to GA, and we've a lot to catch up on there too, Pat. I suppose we'll have to start with the Clare footballers against Cork. A very disappointing day.
I was actually Ger, and they kind of collapsed in the second half. Like they were a point up at half time playing against the Breeze.
You'd reckon it was going to be a good second half.
What struck me was they looked a tired team. You see, we don't have the strength and depth of other counties, and we're using the same players. That's what I felt anyway. A lot of them had played the pre-season tournaments as well. Yeah. Whereas other teams, exactly. And so, that's right. And we were kind of looked lethargic in the second half. And like, as well as that, they kind of concentrated on nullifying Brian Hurley, the Cork captain. They kept him scoreless in play. He got 3 frees from close range, but there was gaps left in, and even despite the fact they were defensive, your man walked in through him for the goal. Not only for Stephen Ryan, they would have won it more decisively than what they had.
I just listened to it, just coming up to half time, and I said, well, God, we're on a good place here. Half time came and they spoke, and I listened to the start of the second half. Next, I heard penalty for Cork. I said, oh, here we go. And in fairness to him, what surprised me more was the roar that went up with the save. Yeah. Yes. I thought there was a huge crowd at the game, because I just don't know, Pat, you can tell me whether there was or there wasn't, but there seemed to be a huge crowd with the roar that went up.
They were disappointed with the crowd. It was 2,500.
Yeah. Okay. Because Cork could be an attractive team.
They would. And the thing is, right, Hurley took the penalty and to stopped. It was a harsh enough one. A foot block was the cause of the penalty.
Well, the foot block in football leads to, because where was the defender's foot when it was blocked? How near the foot? Where was it? That's the big debate, Johnny. Always in football.
And it's yellow.
But Johnny, coupled with that, we were coming into the game again, but we kicked too many wides.
Okay.
No, Podge was a loss. He wasn't talked at all. He had some injury. Of course, they're also missing O'Connor at midfield.
Yeah, he's a huge loss.
And Darren O'Neill as well, a big loss as well. We don't have the numbers, Ger. No, it wasn't a game. You couldn't say we were unlucky to lose it compared to the Dublin match and the Kildare match. And Ger, they've come back to haunt us because I think I said it previously, I felt we were going to be in trouble this year. And the way it is fixed now, we have Derry next, and we won't beat Derry above Derry. And
Dilmall is up there.
Even after beating Limerick mightn't be enough if we do beat Limerick. And we do have difficulty beating Limerick as well.
So when you see what Limerick done, the Drew would meet last weekend.
How that happened?
And they should have won it by all accounts.
They kicked some serious amount of points.
And by the individual, see, I was hoping Louth to stay losing as well, and we had the head-to-head advantage. But now Kildare had the head-to-head advantage if they finish level with Clare on points.
That's right.
So I reckon, Johnny, at the end of the day, it'll be 2 from 3. Limerick, Clare and Kildare, 2 of them will go down.
For sure.
I can't see anything else other than that. And I fear for Clare because Kildare are actually playing Limerick this weekend. Kildare, I'm not saying that will Kildare beat Limerick. If they do, they're 4 points. So that means the most Clare will get is 4 points. I can't see Clare beating Derry. So that means Kildare had the advantage there because they head to head if that's all they end up with. And it's a pity, really. And then they're playing Cork in the first round of Munster Championship, and Cork won't be afraid now after coming to this and winning that to come up again and do the same thing. And that means then if we're down Division 3, we won't be in the Championship, All Ireland Championship following year.
You would say that at the start of the year, Pat, and the other side of it is that to be an awful backward step for Clare football from to go down. You know, they need to be playing these games, competitive games, where they're playing at the minute.
Exactly. But I think the games they had played the last few weeks took a lot out of them. The Dublin game,
the Dublin game, I think those 2 games, I think, and as you say, using the same players.
More or less, you know.
The other interesting fact is that Ray Dempsey, the Limerick manager, stepped down there during the week. We don't know why. And Mark Fitzgerald was selector or coach or something. He's now the new manager. He's a Kerry man, former Kerry manager. Was our selector, but something even after drawing with Meath, you reckon you'd wonder why Dempsey stepped down, you know, and this thing wasn't great.
Billy Lee had done a good job with him, and I think to be fair, he was there 5 or 6 years, and I thought he'd have stayed on when they got promoted, but he left as well, so you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
I suppose Billy Lee felt he had given it all he could, passion, fairness, because he had done a great job with him.
In fairness, where they were going from. So I suppose Tyrone beat Kerry when people were writing off Tyrone, and it's just amazing how one win can galvanise, especially the Kerry match. Kerry a bit up and down, but maybe they're behind other teams. You know, and
Derry beat Dublin.
They were lucky enough to beat.
Well, 7-2 points or 7-3 down at half time. Interesting game.
The goal straight after half time was crucial.
It was a tonic. Without doubt.
Dublin didn't seem too perturbed by losing it.
It was a goal that normal Dublin wouldn't give away, to be honest.
That's true, No, they're not the power they were, definitely.
No. But I still wouldn't write them off.
They'll get promoted with Derry.
But I mean, they'll get
Leinster Championship, they should win it.
They'll get to the latter stages of the All-Ireland series. Not saying they'll win it, but they'll get to the latter stages of it. Or should anyway.
At least the Football League is more interested in the Hurling League.
But the Hurling League is, as Johnny, you said, is a challenge league rather than a hurling league, you know.
Well, like when you look at the Clare performance against Limerick inside in the Gaelic grounds or inside in Toos Park, like some of our lads didn't mark. They weren't within 15-20 yards of their players. We got on to Wexford then 2 weeks later,
and Wexford did what Clare
Wexford vanished. Because we're not that good and they're not that bad. They were shocking.
And there's people wondering, Ger, why they should pay €18 to go in to watch.
That's the other thing I was coming to. How much of them again could you justify, charging people that sort of money? Because you, seriously, you're going to look at the game of hurling, you're going to support in your county.
That's right.
But you don't know what sort of a team is going to turn up.
And
what sort of a performance you're going to get.
There's a lot of people saying there'll be a big crowd at Clare and Galway. I don't know, will there? Because people will be focused. The rugby's on, then the triple crowd take a few, and then they'll say the same thing. Are Clare going to try or Galway going to try, or whatever.
Who's going to try?
And it's on television as well.
It's just the 2 games I actually thought that we find out where we are as such, getting ready for the championship, was the Galway Cork game. They were the 2 games. Well, so I was half expecting a big crowd.
I didn't think they'd show their hand against Cork. Maybe I expect them to put out a strong team in Galway, all right. I don't expect that they're playing Cork in championship. I don't know. Limerick are just coming back from Portugal tonight. I think they're in a week's training camp. They're playing Westmeath. And
they'll put out the junior B team.
He's on the way back, lads.
He's supposed to be gone to Portugal anyway. So, but interesting, Ger, like Hayes got a subsequent ban he's out for the Westmeath match. He accepted the ban.
Of course he did.
Disappointing, Ger, that I watched actually saw the game, but disappointing that everyone missed it. Everyone
missed it. Well, it just happened. You see, Johnny. I was watching.
I put my hand up at things that happened around ourselves, Ger. We're too big in black ourselves.
It was halfway down the field. It was at the far side from either the fourth official or the lines went that side. The lines went on that side, flagged, looking that way, looking the opposite way.
Yeah, when it happened,
the flick came up. Everyone in the country and in the that side of the field saw it, except the officials. And there's no hope any of the umpires could have seen it.
No, it's disappointing.
But Concannon hit him in the shin. That's a sore dose, and of course Hayes swung back. I had to laugh afterwards here, where TG Carr guy said to him, we'll have to talk about that, and he said, and Kylie just said, I thought he was signalled from where I was, where the line ball was going. There's a lot more to that. Do you want to see it? He said to him. Kylie said, I see it during the week, thank you. But he was a bit put out by the fact that he was coming at it. But you're like, there's an undercurrent here in Limerick, though. They do incline to be loose with the hurleys at times, a small bit, but definitely they'll take stopping again.
They will, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I suppose that's in the final minute we have of the programme. I suppose mentioned the leagues are starting here in Clare, Johnny. Division, the first Clare Cup, the intermediate leagues, junior A leagues, and all that kicking out this weekend. It'll be a busy few weeks. Camogie is starting as well.
That's right.
17 hurling league has started.
I was talking to one guy. He made 20-something phone calls to try and get a referee a senior camogie game this coming Saturday.
I can imagine.
And I mean, it was on the. Thanks be to God, it was on the Championship 2 weeks ago that our leagues, the male Clare Cup games are starting this weekend, and the times are on. And how, in their wisdom, they decided to try and play camogie games at 3 o'clock, half 3, 4 o'clock at the same time is above and beyond me.
Yeah. It's very difficult for anyone. I mean, you're right. The lads have to organise the referees, and it's just
it's a nightmare.
Countless phone calls. Countless phone calls.
But it'll be it's lads. They've been training, looking for the last 2 months. A lot of them, and I suppose out in grass a small bit, and they'll be delighted to get back and to be actually hurling.
Some clubs here were struggling to get managements, including my own, so they haven't much done. There's a bit of that as well, and then people say much interest in the cup, even though it is now sponsored. There's money there.
You have the meals this weekend, Paddy.
We have at home.
Be tasty.
But I don't agree with the fact that under 20s can't play this time of the year. It is ridiculous. A club with our size, missing 5 players, that's a third of a team. We don't have the numbers. It's not right. Whatever about the seniors, but Jesus, they're under 20s.
No, but it's not. You should be allowed to play.
Yeah, you're penalising of county players. It's all right for clubs with huge numbers.
Pat, they're gone from the place here where they used to, the county men would be only allowed to play so many Clare Cup games. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Now they're after undermining us again by doing what they're doing, not allowing the under 20s.
Yeah, and there's a few even given out, even though it didn't happen for a year. I think they're going charging to go into county league matches from next year.
Yeah. Tell me this, Pat. Is there any news of management with St. Joseph Door Bearfield? Or is there
they have Oisin O'Brien's the manager and the coach, and they had a manager, and he left him, and he's now the Ballier coach, Kevin Sheehan. So he left suddenly, but they have some of the junior management brought up from last year, so they have a management team in place. And Ballier have Leonard Mack as manager, which Kevin Sheehan is coach. So I think every club has someone got now. And congratulations, Ger, to Neil O'Brien, who got married there recently.
Congratulations to Neil.
From all of us,
That's right,
He'll be fitter than ever now. And he'll be storming to get out of refereeing to get away from her.
And with that word, Johnny, we'll bring this week's edition to a close. Johnny and Pat, thanks for your input as always. We hope to have Willie back the next time, lads. So, listeners, if there's anything you want us to discuss, just contact the station there. Contact Jim Collins, and he'll give us the heads up. So, until the next time, slán.